Welcome back, students. So, we have to continue with our story, which is Grief, written by Anton Chekhov. We had done till here, heavy on his heart. Do you remember? So, now we will discuss further. See, now the hunchback who was swearing means who was abusing the protagonist and Iona Potapov. When he was swearing or abusing continuously, he chokes. Okay. Then he chokes or is overpowered by cough. His tall companions, those who were sitting in the sledge, they started talking about a certain person. This is the name of that person, Nadzda Petronova. Okay. Now, what is important is Iona looks round at them. Iona turns his back and looks towards the people who are sitting there in the sledge, and he waits. Okay, he waits till there is a brief pause. Why he waits? Because he wants to start his conversation with those people, and he looks round once more and says, "This week, my son died." That is why he was turning his back again and again. He wanted to start conversation regarding his dead son. And now see what Hunchback replies. It has already been highlighted. See, Hunchback with a sigh says, we shall all die." Okay, and then he says, drive on, my friends. I simply cannot stand crawling like this. When will he get us there? Now again, he uh, he has the hunchback has diverted the issue, the conversation, and he says, please drive on. He no, not please. He says, drive on. It's just like crawling, or the sledge driver is driving at a very slow speed, and then he asks, or he says, when he will get us there, or when they will reach their destination. Okay. Well, you give him a little encouragement on in the one in the neck. Now this encouragement one in the neck means he is firstly, the hunchback was abusing. Okay. Now a tall one who was sitting in the sledge, he says to the hunchback, give him one in the neck. Give one, or blow, give one slap, we can say, in the neck of Iona Potapov. Now, these lines have been said by Hunchback. Do you hear, you old trick? I will make you smart. If one stands on ceremony with fellows like you, one may as well walk. Okay, so now see, Hunchback says, do you hear what we are saying? That we will blow your neck. I'll make you smart. Make you smart means after beating you, I will make you uh, more attentive. If one stands on ceremony, see, stands on ceremony here means to behave formally. Okay, and second thing is, see, there is some class distinction shown here. Like Iona Potapov belongs to the lower class, means he is not having money. He is financially weak, and automatically when someone sits in his sledge, that person becomes a rank higher than the sledge driver, right? So he says, hunchback says, one cannot stand on ceremony, one cannot behave formally with such kind of sledge drivers or poor people, and there is, yes, criticism on such kind of behavior as well, which usually people do with these sledge drivers. And he says, it is in this line, like you, one may as well walk. He says you are driving at a very slow speed, that one can walk and can reach the place more quickly. Then he asks, are you hearing us, or you don't have care a hang means, or you are not giving any attention to us? Iona, this line is very important. This line is extremely important. And Iona hears rather than feels a slap on the back of his neck. Iona hears that something has happened, and what is that has happened is Hunchback has given a slap on the neck of Iona Potapov. Now he doesn't feel it. Iona doesn't feel the slap, the pain of the slap. Why? Because the pain of the death of his son is much greater than the pain which he felt after getting this slap. So this line is important. He just hears it, his body has become senseless because of the death of his son. See, he laughs at this. Iona laughs at this and says, Merry gentlemen, God give you health. See why he is blessing. Why Iona Potapov is blessing the ones who are blowing him. Because he is in the company of some people with whom he can share his pain. Now, yes, one of the tall ones asks him, Cabman, are you married? See, they have means the three of them, one of the three of them have asked him, are you married? Now, what Iona will do, he will bring the matter to the death of his son. Let's see how. He says, yes, the only wife for me is the damp earth, the grave. They are asking, are you married? And he says, yes, uh, grave is my wife. Here is my son dead and I am alive. But he says that my son has died and I am alive. These lines are important as well. See, it is taken for granted that a father will die earlier than his son, right? But there's something opposite has happened, and it's a strange thing. It's a very pathetic thing. And Iona says it's very strange that death has come at the wrong door. That death has knocked someone's door at my house, but a wrong door. Death should have taken me with it, but my son went. Okay, and Iona turns round to tell them how his son died. Now he turns again. He faces turns his body to face the passengers. But at that point, the hunchback announces that at last they have arrived at their destination. Okay, it means no doubt the revelers wanted to talk to Iona Potapov, but they were not interested in any of the conversation. They were just passing their time. Okay, so a person, a very miserable father is telling that my son has died, but when the revelers reached their destination, they didn't give any attention to his talk. Now Iona receives 20 kopecks and he looks at the three revelers till they disappeared in the dark entry. Okay. See, uh, he was very hopeful that three revelers will listen to his talks, but no, nothing happened. Now again he is alone and there is silence for him as there was silence for him at the beginning of the story. Okay, so this line is important as well. The misery which has been for a brief space eased comes back again and tears his heart more cruelly than ever. Now he was feeling light when he was in the company of people. Now he is alone again and the silence, the pain of the death of his son is killing his heart. Okay? Iona sees people moving, he sees crowd moving to and fro on both the sides of the street. He was in the street now, so he sees crowd, he sees people walking to and fro. But among thousands of people, he cannot find any single person who can listen to him, who can listen to the pain he is suffering from. But the crowds flit by, heedless of him and his misery. And crowd neglects his misery. His misery is immense beyond all bounds. If Iona's heart were to burst and his misery were to flow out, it would flood the whole world, it seems. See, he is ignored. He is ignored, his misery is ignored, but his heart is full of pain. If his heart were to burst out, okay, and then what will happen? Flood of misery will will what will do? It will do, it will destruct the whole world with misery. Okay, then this line again criticizes the behavior of the people, that people are not able to understand the pain of Iona Potapov from his face expressions, from his body posture. Now, Iona makes a plan in these lines. Iona makes a plan that he will talk to a house potter, okay, and he will ask time from that person. And with this, he will start conversation with him regarding the death of his son. But that house potter replies, he tells him the time, and then he says, "Why have you stopped here? Drive on." Like, what happened? Drive on, go. I have told you time, just go now. Okay. Then Iona drives a few spaces away and bends himself double, gives himself up to his misery. If you remember, what was his posture when the story started? He was bent double as a human body can, right? So bending double means when we are not in a good mental condition, or we are very tired. So how we sit, our shoulders are bent towards forward, right? So this is the posture when we are not happy, and he sits in this posture. He feels it is no good to appeal to people. Now he realizes that how careless, how indifferent people are. There is lack of emotions in the people. See, this line he says for the strangers. Okay. Uh, Firstly, he met officer, then he met three revelers, then he met a house potter, to which he was not known, or those who were stranger to him. But now, yes, but he says that these people are so indifferent, and these strangers are so indifferent that I cannot talk to them. They will not listen to me. It is worthless to appeal to such people. And he tugs at the rein. He tugs at the reins, means starts his sledge, and he goes back to the yard. And there, here he will try to talk to the people who to whom he knows previously, okay, and he will try to share his pain with them. Okay, this incident, after this we will discuss in the next session. Thank you for listening.